Welcome everybody to Wrestling with the Week, a cross-faced chicken tapping the life out of the last 7 days in a fun way. I'm your host, James Olams, joined as always by Scorpio Sky.
James, I've got my Bang energy with me. We're doing good. We're feeling good. What a week.
Is that sponsored? Are we sponsored by Bang Energy?
This is a fake sponsor ad here.
Okay, cool.
But
nice.
We would love to be sponsored by Bang Energy if they want to jump on board. You know,
Yeah.
I've been wearing, we're episode 11 in. I've been wearing my not canceled yet t-shirt and getting wild amounts of compliments.
Really? From whom?
Just anybody on the street. I went to a FedEx to drop off a package the other day, and the guy was going nuts for it. People love it. I was wearing it backstage, and people were like, "Oh, you're brave."
I thought you were going to say that you were hanging out around Microsoft campus and Bill Gates saw you. A big fan of the show. Bill Gates loves it. He's probably got it. I'm surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if you guys were matched. We have a really, really fun show. Episode 11, like Sky said. We have a lot of stuff planned. We're going to be talking about some weird news stories. We're going to be updating what's going on with Sky, because I want to know. I want to know how the Face of the Revolution is doing. We are going to be, actually, there's some shoe stuff that we didn't even get to last week that we were supposed to talk about. And then we're also going to premiere a new segment called Tag In, Tag Out, where we're going to break down the biggest and best moments from Dynamite. It's going to be great. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fast-paced show. Sky, are you ready for this?
I am almost ready. No, I'm ready. Let's go.
Okay, I say we just jump right into it. Our first segment this week, Sky's the Limit. Sky, I want to know what's going on. What's going on with Face of the Revolution, okay?
The Face of the Revolution is feeling good, looking good. And Mike Seidel is in a whole lot of trouble, my friend. I'm telling you. Did you see me on Dynamite?
I did. I always do. It's the only thing I look for. I have a DVR, and all it does is it fast. You know how they can fast forward through commercials? It just looks for you, and then it stops there, and then I'll watch that, and then it fast forwards through the rest.
You know, I'm loving the opportunity to show a different side of myself, a side that, as I said, people haven't seen, maybe a side I haven't let them see, but now they're going to see it. And, you know, some people are going to like it, some people aren't. But at the end of the day, I really don't care. And a lot of people are going to be feeling some pain very, very soon.
Yeah, for sure. And so you're going to be going up against Mike Seidel on Dark Elevation on Monday.
Yep, and an ass-kicking match.
And an ass-kicking match.
It's going to be the very first ass-kicking match.
Can you explain, not for me, because of course I would know, but for anyone out there who may not be familiar, what entails an ass-kicking match?
Well, you've heard of ladder matches where you have to climb the ladder and retrieve whatever is up above you. You've heard of cage matches where you have to escape. And an ass-kicking match, an opponent comes into the ring and they stand across from Scorpio Sky and then they get their ass kicked. That's exactly what it happens.
Okay. That sounds like a pretty good premise. It's a far cry from many of the other gimmick matches that we've seen before, but okay, an ass-kicking match. So in this particular scenario, I mean, we both know that there isn't, but say theoretically, is there a way for anyone other than Scorpio Sky to win an ass-kicking match?
No, come on.
No.
Whoever the best ass kicker is the one. And we always know that's me, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Well, I'm super excited to see it. So is this is going to be the first time you've had your debut on Dark Elevation, correct?
Yeah, this will be my Dark Elevation.
Scott!
Oh.
Yo, wait a minute here.
What's up?
Guess who is just dropping by?
Oh, man.
Oh, my gosh.
Christopher Daniels.
Hey.
Christopher Daniels?
Frankie Kazarian is here.
What's happening?
SCU? Wow.
Oh my goodness!
just dropping
what a pleasant
in?
surprise.
Right.
Sky, what the hell is going on? Can you tell me what the hell is going on over there? What's happening?
We got ourselves a drop in. We've got Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, SCU. We in the house.
James.
That's crazy.
What a week.
Wow. Hold on. Chris, you ever thought about doing a podcast?
Ooh,
Because that was really good.
I had discussed to Sky the possibility of trying. We did a spot on the Independence once where we tried to switch and pass off as each other. Like I rolled out of the ring and Sky rolled into the ring. And they go, get out of the ring, Sky. And he goes, no, I'm Christopher Daniels.
Nice.
And the ref goes, what? He goes, I'm bald. Look, I'm bald. I'm Christopher Daniels. And they go, but you're black. And
Yeah, I think the referee literally said that.
yep.
How are you guys both doing? How's everything going over there? Sky told me there's a pool nearby, but I just want to know what's life like for SCU over there.
We're doing great, man. I mean, thrilled to be part of AEW. Thrilled to, to be here with my brothers, my best friends. The guys, take a lot of pride in being one of the first. We were 3 of the first 9 guys signed to the company, right? So, and just to see the growth and just to see his success and the success of the podcast and everything, it's just cool, man.
And honestly, things are turning around right now for everyone in SCU. Sky is the face of the revolution, as everyone knows. Frankie Kazarian starting to get a little more notoriety on Dynamite now, and deservedly so. And things are looking up for the members of SCU right now when it comes to all things AEW.
Yeah,
obviously, CD is also a huge part of mentoring a lot of the guys backstage, helping us, and wrestling yourself. And speaking of wrestling, Frankie has a really big match coming up on Dynamite this week against Christian Cage. First time he's been in the ring in 7 years. Yeah. And you guys wrestled many times back in TNA. When was the last time you guys locked up, and how are you feeling going into this?
So the last time we locked up it had to be the tail end of 2007, maybe early 2008, because he left TNA shortly thereafter. But I've often said this, like I've told you guys, and you've been in the ring with him. Christian Cage, maybe in the entire history of pro wrestling, the most underrated guy to ever do it. Also, maybe the highest wrestling IQ that I've ever been around. Like the guys, and by wrestling IQ, just knowing what works, knowing where to be, just like he's a master at what we do. Like he is, like in my opinion, he has mastered the craft of pro wrestling, and I'm so thrilled that he's here. I never thought I would have the opportunity. If you would have told me this a month and a half ago, that I would have the chance to wrestle Christian Cage again, just wasn't in the cards. So the fact that it's happening is still surreal, but I'm really looking forward to the match. It's a huge honor to be his first opponent in 7 years, and I can't wait to beat him.
Exactly.
Yeah. I can't wait to beat him. It's gonna.
And don't forget, we're also the #1 ranked tag team in AEW, so there will be a tag team title shot coming for SCU any minute now. We're patiently waiting, but not that patiently.
Well, but sometimes it's about biding your time, right? You don't necessarily want to cash in that opportunity when it doesn't feel right. Okay, when you want to do it when you know you can win.
Well, we know we can win at any moment, so we're just being honorable men. There's plenty of scoundrels and thieves in AEW, and 2 of them are not Frankie Kazarian and Christopher Daniels. So we're happy to wait, bide our time, because when the time comes, we'll have gold around our waists.
That's right. That's right.
Simple as that.
So while I have you guys here, I'm jumping subjects slightly. I've put over on the podcast many times that you guys have so many like great stories. We for the years and years and years we've been in the van, we've been on the road, flying from town to town to town, and they tell me these hilarious stories, and we live some hilarious stories. So I gotta get, and we might have to ignore the clock and everything. I gotta get some stories from you guys, and you guys can just pick out of a hat. Just please, the floor is yours.
You do one, because I know the story I'm going to tell, and it's about Pop Sky, because it's one of the funniest things.
Yeah, I'm just going to tell one that Sky likes, because it involves one of my absolute favorite people in pro wrestling, one of my heroes, a guy that I was fortunate enough to even consider a mentor, Ric Flair. Yes. We can all say he's maybe the best to ever do it. So long story short, in TNA, I had the opportunity to work with him and got to become friendly with him. And it's kind of in the wrestling business, it's kind of a rite of passage to go have a couple of beverages with Rick at the bar. And we had finally reached the point where we were friendly enough, and I was walking into the regular hotel bar at the DoubleTree in Orlando, and Rick sees me walking, and he literally Kaz, where you going, brother? And I'm like, I'm just going up to my room. He's like, put your bag down, get over here right now. okay, you don't say no to that, right? Okay, sure. And he's like, what are you drinking? Oh, I'll have it here. And before I can even he passes me whatever he's drinking. Okay, I guess I'm drinking this. So, but I'm like, it's cool. It's Ric Flair. And So this is a regular hotel bar, mind you. Regular DoubleTree bar. So we're sitting there just having beverages, getting a little loud. A group of like college-age guys come in and they're walking and they notice, wow, it's Ric Flair. He's very recognizable. So they kind of walk over and, hey, Ric Flair, woo! And he's like, hey guys, how you doing? How you doing? Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. Good to see you. Hey, good to see you. And he goes back talking. Very polite. Good to see you guys. Good. Hey, thank you, brother. And he goes back to talking. So these same guys come in and like, hey man, is it okay if we get? And he goes from like polite and nice to it wasn't a huge jump, but he goes like, guys, sorry, this is a private bar. This is a private bar. And I'm thinking, it's absolutely not a private bar. This is a very public hotel bar.
Yeah.
He goes, sorry guys. He goes, sorry guys, private, like literally, sorry, it's a private bar. And the guy's like, we just thought we could get a picture. And he goes from, get the fuck out of here! You guys, this is a private bar. Get the fuck out of here! Like that. And I'm like, just like, oh no. Like what? And then the guys kind of bow up like, this isn't a fucking private bar. And he's like, you get it! And he goes into like character.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so security is like, gentlemen. So to placate him going forward, they brought one of those, one velvet rope with 2 posts and put like private function on it just because this was going to continue to happen.
The hotel did that? The hotel brought in a velvet rope?
Going forward, they did just
God.
because like that's where we would gather and it would just be like private function just so we didn't have an incident. Because
That's
God knows
amazing.
in pro wrestling we've had enough incidents. So
Real quick, I gotta tell, it's like people, they'll talk to me about like my Ric Flair impression, or they'll talk about, Tequila Sky is basically, my alter ego when I've had a few, and it's brother Ric Flair. And I always tell people, it's not, my impression is not a Ric Flair impression. It's an impression of Frankie's Ric Flair impression.
Yeah.
And we used to do that on the road. When we were on the road every week with AEW, we would get in on Tuesday, usually Tuesday morning, the 3 of us, and we had the same schedule. It was like get in, check in, go work out, and eat and whatever, and then Tuesday night we would go down to the lobby bar and we'd make sure you give us a seat where we could see everybody walk in, and it was just like a weekly thing. MJF, put down your bag and get over here, brother. Orange Cassidy, leave your bag at the front desk. We got a drink here for you. And like every single week.
didn't matter who it was. It could be the doctors. It could be someone from legal.
Yeah.
Invariably, people would get in the ring or get in the bar, and then Sky would be like, all right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 14 tequila sunrises. What are you guys drinking? That's all mine.
How does it sound like Ric Flair is also Sylvester Stallone? I don't understand. Like it's really good Ric Flair impressions all around, but it's also weirdly like Sylvester Stallone played him in the biopic.
Yeah, I think the cadence. I think the Ric Flair cadence is a little faster. Like, brother, you better know who you're. To where someone's like, hey, brother, you. So I think it's all the cadence. Yeah.
Amazing. That's amazing.
CD, you said you got one?
Okay, so let me preface this by saying that before Scorpio Sky joined SCU, Frankie and Kazarian and I, we're both very jaded. We're both very surly, and we pop each other, but it's very hard to pop us. So Sky has brought a huge amount of laughter to SCU because he pops for all our stories. He makes me feel like I'm funny, and I'm very not funny. But anyway, the reason I tell you this, so we were on a loop, and I'm always the driver. I'm always the guy getting in the car, so I'm always driving. So I'm the wheel man. So on this particular loop, I had done some sort of workout where I got blisters on my hands here and here. So I had a real bad blister from some sort of workout I was doing. I can't remember what I was doing. But in the course of that weekend, the blister in the middle of my hand like burst open. So this was like an open wound. So I remember at the end of a show, we had just gotten done. I got in the car and we had done like some meet and greets at the end, or we'd met some fans. So of course, Frankie Kazarian has hand sanitizer. And so he has hand sanitizer and he gives it to Sky, and Sky's doing hand sanitizer, and I'm driving. And he goes, CD, you want some hand sanitizer? And this is early on, so Sky at this point doesn't recognize my sarcasm voice versus my real voice. So I'm driving, and he goes, you want some hand sanitizer? I go, sure, man, why don't you just put it right here in this hole in my hand? You know? And then, if this was a movie, this would be the scene where he actually pours it directly into the middle of my open wound. And then the movie is then, the scene is the camera's in my throat. And then you see like jungle cats on the Serengeti going, what the hell? And birds flying away because everybody on the planet hears me screaming, just the most agonizing pain ever. And I'm not looking. I didn't know it by seeing it. I knew it by feeling that there was sanitizer poured directly into an open wound. And he must have laughed about that for literally 50 miles straight.
It's right.
It's my own fault.
Because smartass goes, pour some right there.
Put it right there in that open wound, brother.
I thought he wanted to clean the wound out.
Oh boy! I'll have you know that.
God.
Also, I have an 8-year-old son. That is his favorite story ever. He always says, "Daddy, tell me again about that time that Uncle Sky poured that stuff in Uncle CD's hand."
And this is also while you're driving. So are you going down the highway trying to hang on to the steering wheel?
And then,
And I will tell you, it was like a hole. I mean, it was like a Passion of the Christ hole. And they might have to edit that out, but it was literally like a hole. It is, and I just I thought he was serious.
a third of the bottle too, like 1/3 of a bottle of hand sanitizer. Gloop.
Oh my God.
I love it.
My hands hurt just listening to you guys talk about that.
My pain has brought so much laughter to these two over the course of our time together.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you do this as long as you have to appreciate the pain and how it can be tied into the comedy of everything, right?
Yeah, we've been together as a group now for, gosh, I mean, going on 4 years, and
17.
yeah, it's been the most fun I've had in my entire career. Like, we've had some insane. I mean, we can go on for hours with the stories we have from Australia and Japan, and then just nationally, China. Just like, we've had crazy times, but it's been so much fun. And I mean, hey, it's not over. We're still rolling. We're still on the road every few weeks, and I think we're gonna still have more stories.
Literally, a new story every week.
We're living the stories as we speak.
Something probably today.
Yeah, I'm saying, aren't you guys right by the pool? Is that where I keep saying to Sky, as soon as the podcast ends, he gets to go cannonball into the pool, right?
No, we got to go to work after this. Yeah,
okay.
We got to go to work.
Right.
Thanks for dropping by, guys. Really appreciate it. We got to have you guys on as official guests at some point, so we can do a whole show with SCU and that sort of thing.
I'm still going to try and do the podcast as you and see how far I can get before James goes.
Yeah.
But you're white. No, I'm bald. Look at my beard. I'm Sky. No, you're white, CD.
The switcheroo.
It's CD.
I mean, dude, I love you. I'll do it anytime, and my PayPal info. So just
damn it! I got to get the brother rate.
Thank God it's not canceled yet. Shirts are selling like hotcakes.
Do you guys have shirts? Do you guys need shirts?
I would love a shirt.
One.
We'll get you
I
shirts.
saw Sky walking backstage with it, and literally was like, the shirt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you send me a couple more, and I'll get them to these.
Awesome.
boys.
I'd like a
Absolutely.
youth medium, please.
Thank you.
Husky toddler.
Yes. The smaller the shirt, the bigger I look, brother.
You can cut the sleeves off.
Oshkosh, I'll take that.
The animal size would be fine. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for dropping in. This has been fantastic. One last thing before you guys sign off. Happy belated birthday.
Oh,
hey. Thank you. It's great to finally turn 82.
Yep.
It's amazing. I'm the youngest 82-year-old you've ever met, I think.
You don't look a day over 60.
I'm pickled, actually. I'm not preserved. I'm pickled.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for dropping in. This is awesome. These are great stories. We'd love to have you back anytime.
See you later, bud.
Oh man.
This episode of Wrestling with the Week is brought to you by Voodoo Ranger. Voodoo Ranger is the beer that doesn't take itself too seriously, and neither should you. It's the beer that you pick based on the can design alone that doesn't disappoint. And let me tell you, I have a Voodoo Ranger Captain Dynamite right here, and the can, I'm going to spend a little time describing the can because it's like got the coolest skeleton man I've ever seen. And a lot of beers do this, where they put something cool on the can, but then what's inside of the can isn't great. And I will tell you this as not really much of a beer drinker. This beer is super delicious. It reminds me, drinking it has kind of like fruit undertones and stuff like that. So it reminds me, it's the perfect beer for drinking on the beach or something like that. It reminds me of summer days and like summer nights and hanging out with friends and stuff like that. Some of the things that I haven't gotten to do in a really long time. So I very much appreciate this beer for doing that. It's delicious. If this isn't even what you're into, if maybe this is a little too light for you, they have all kinds of other beers that you can try, like their Imperial IPA, all with amazing can art. Who would have thought that was such an important thing for beer? But I'm a big fan of Voodoo Ranger in general. Captain Dynamite specifically is locked, stocked, and fully hopped. It's a hazy IPA that explodes with tropical citrus flavors and aromas. See, I know what I'm talking about, and that's their copy. If you want to hear more about Voodoo Ranger's flavors and what they offer, the delicious beers that you can get your hands on, visit at Voodoo Ranger on Instagram and Twitter to hear more. Live rangerously. Oh my gosh, so that was pretty amazing. Thank you so much, Sky, for flagging them down. Did they just drop in on you? Does this happen when you're like trying to shave? Like, how often does the rest of SCU just pop in on you?
That was fun, a little unexpected thing. Very cool to just have them drop in. I know we went off script for a while, but I think it was great. You know, we got some good stories, and oh my God, there's still so many stories that they can tell. Ric Flair stories, our stories, just insane.
You know what? Speaking of weird stories, we actually would love to seg into a new segment. Eric, we have a new thing set up called Stranger Than Fiction. You want to intro what this is?
I absolutely do. What a fantastic episode so far.
Are you glowing?
Only because I was laughing so hard at those stories, guys. That was great. Those are good road stories. But guys, we got a new segment called Stranger Than Fiction. Look, we always cover weird news on this show, but the thing is, I've made some news stories that have been in that rundown, and we haven't had time to get to them. So what I want to do is every so often I want to grab some of these news stories, but I'm going to give you 3 headlines, okay? 2 are real, 1 is not, and I want you guys, detective, sniff it out. Let me know which one is not the real headline, okay?
So one of them is a hork.
Yes. Well, we got 2 shoot headlines, 1 work headline. Let's figure out what it is. Okay. Here's the first.
I'm ready for it.
Swan terrorizes homeowners by constantly knocking on front doors. That's number 1.
Okay. All right.
That's number 1. Number 2.
Are you talking about Swan the animal or the band?
No, not Swan.
Or the wrestler,
not Billy Corgan's NWA. No.
Rich Swan from Impact.
Yeah, no. We're talking about the animal, the swan. Number 2.
Okay.
Kazakhstan bodybuilder divorces sex doll he married, has a new partner now.
That one's loaded. That is loaded. Okay. All right.
Okay. Number 3.
Number 3. Dog ousted as mayor after putting a truck in reverse and crashing into a home.
Holy cow.
So, you've received 3 headlines. 2 are true. 1 is not. Tell
James,
me.
you want to go first? You want me to go first?
So we got the swan, we got the bodybuilder, and we got the mayor dog. Is what we got. Oh my, this is tough. I think that I'm going to go with the bodybuilder is the fake story, only purely because what could go wrong in that relationship? They were perfect for each other. So I refuse to believe that a relationship like that would have ended in divorce.
And I am going to say Mayor Dog is the hork.
Ooh.
Okay.
That's the fake story.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
I will say that the swan terrorizes homeowners by constantly knocking on front doors is a real story.
I knew it. Okay.
Got it.
So,
okay, good.
There's that. Kazakhstan bodybuilder divorces sex doll he married, has a new partner now, is a real story.
Are you kidding me? How does a relationship like that end? She gets what she wants and he gets what he wants.
Is that what she wants?
Yeah, everyone wants a Kazakhstan bodybuilder.
Sex dolls can't consent.
That's true.
fair.
So I don't know
fair.
how you could marry one. And anyway, I also found out reading this article that his new partner is also a sex doll.
Oh boy.
It's just a different one.
Hey, he has a type.
He does. It's sex dolls.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I won the game, right?
You
I
won the game. Dog ousted as mayor after putting a truck in reverse and crashing into a home is
love
a news headline that I created.
I will say I love this. I love this segment. I hope the listeners love this segment and let us know at WWTWPOD on Twitter and Instagram. Let us know if you like this segment, if you want to keep it going. I think we should keep it going and keep a running tally of a score each week.
I got
am up 1-0 right now.
Yep.
Let's see if James can tie it up next week. And maybe, I don't know, do we do best of 7 and then we start over? I don't know. What?
Couple things I want to add. Number one, I should have known that the dog story was fake because it's a dog politician and there are human politicians that do infinitely worse things and aren't ousted from their positions, right? Like, I would completely forgive a dog for that. Number two, I would also add that if you, our listeners, want to pitch fake headlines, send them to the WWTW pod or Eric on Twitter, Instagram, whatever, and then we might feature your fake headline in the segment. So
also send him real crazy stories.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And make sure you don't tag James or I, so we are
it'll ruin
so
it.
it's
Definitely
a fair game.
We read
DM
everything anyone says about us.
Just DM WWTW pod on Instagram and on Twitter. If we use your fake story or your real story, we'll credit you in the episode.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So there
And
you go.
Eric
Sky
does less
wins,
work.
James loses.
Love it.
All right,
Love
I'll
it.
take that L. I'll take that L. That's okay.
So
It's
I know
all a dance.
I know we're getting close to the end of this week, but I really want to make sure I show off. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm a big show off.
Yep.
And I put over that I got some new sneakers recently, but I didn't get to show them to you. I've been waiting for these for months. I'm wearing them today.
Okay.
Kick out, baby. Let's go. Look at these Jordan 1
It's very clean.
lows. Like
Very
the
clean.
concrete, like elephant print, like
Yeah.
so clean, so fresh. I love them.
I still can't believe you're
so
wearing
excited.
them. That's the thing.
Oh.
They still, you've convinced me, I've gotten into my head that they are pieces of art. But it still seems weird. I wouldn't imagine seeing someone walking around with the Mona Lisa on their feet. That's the weird thing, you know?
I get them to wear them, brother. I got to wear them. You know,
Good
I
for
love
you.
my Jordans. And speaking of Jordan, I've just got one thing I want to ask. Today is the NBA, at the time we're recording this, obviously this will air on Monday. Today is the NBA trade deadline. And every single year they hype us up. This guy might get traded. This superstar might get traded. This superstar might get traded. And we're like, and I find myself looking at my phone for days and days and all day. I'm like, okay, what's happening? And then rarely does anything like significant ever happen.
Yeah.
It's like Shits McGee got traded from one team to another. You know, it's like nothing too big. And so my question for you, but then I fall for it every year. Every year I'm like, I'm invested again. And so my question for you is there anything like that for you where you know better, but you still allow yourself to fall for it every single time and they get you? Like what gets you?
Yes, and this is going to really solidify the difference between you and I in such a beautiful, magnificent way. But Nintendo, the video game company, makes these direct conferences, which are basically like either a conference that airs live on YouTube, you can watch it live, stream it, and everything like that. And every single time they do one, they maybe do like 4 a year, everyone goes, this is it. They're going to announce a new name it, like a new Mario, a new Metroid, a new whatever, all these things that I love. They're going to announce it finally, and they never do. It's always like Pokemon DLC or you know, a new Fire Emblem game that I don't care about. It's exactly the same as what you're describing, and every single time, not on just myself, but the whole video game community gets so worked up about it, and then all the comments are like, what was this garbage? They didn't tell us anything. Why? I don't care about this Smash Brothers character. I know how you feel in the most nerdy way possible.
I mean, sometimes it feels good to get got, right?
Yeah.
You just fall for it. And I'm going to fall for it again next year. And I obviously I say nothing ever significant happens, and I'll probably look up in a couple of hours, and it's like LeBron James, Anthony Davis, James Harden, you know, Kawhi Leonard have all switched teams. Like, what a day, what a week! Like, you know, like we'll see what happens.
But does that stuff ever happen at the trade deadline? Like, this is just the last time for it, right?
No, it does not. Most of the time, the huge trades take place in the summer. Now, obviously, James Harden got traded earlier this season. That was a huge trade. But again, it wasn't at the deadline. It was months ago. Yeah. So the deadline is rarely, like I said, it's always like this two-way player who makes, you know, $1 million a year, which I'm not knocking down my nose at $1 million a year. But compared to the superstars that are making 30 and 40, this two-way player that, or, you know, got traded for cash considerations from some team. You know, it's just like, well, it's not a big deal. Like, why? I've been looking at my phone for 6 hours for this. Like,
for sure.
Oh, well.
Listen, I get it. Speaking of people looking at their phone waiting for something, people want to hear us talk about Dynamite. They want us to recap the show, get our vibes on the show and the things we saw. Eric, get back out here. Let's talk about this, what we're going to do right now. What are we doing?
So here's the thing. I like when we talk about Dynamite, but just like with those news stories, we always end up going like, we ran out of time. So what I want to do is rapid fire some stuff at you guys. We'll hit some of these highlights. You guys tag in, tag out. So you let me know if you want to tag in on something. We got to have someone come in and give a hot take. We got to have someone come in and hit a spot here. I'm just gonna run down some things that happen on Dynamite, and you guys let me know how you're feeling about that particular thing. Okay. So
love it.
Here we go. From the top, Kenny Omega defeats Matt Sydal, but gets laid out later by the Lucha Brothers and Laredo Kid, and then the Young Bucks abandon him while all this happens. What
Tag
is
in.
that? Oh,
Tag
please
in.
give it.
Let
Just
me
hit
in.
me with it. Go.
I'm gonna jump in. I love what is happening with Kenny Omega right now. He is straddling this line. He knows he's one of the greats, okay? But it feels like we're finally seeing that come around, and it's really starting to bite him in the ass. This is the culmination of maybe some sort of lackadaisical decisions he made on behalf of supporting the Young Bucks, and I don't blame them for doing it. But I really just love how Kenny will have a match with Matt Sydal, and it will be close. And you're like, why is this close? And Kenny he'll still win. He'll seem like he's on top, but then boom, later on, he's completely laid out and left all alone. So I love where this is going. It's fun. It's exciting. And it's very compelling for me.
There is dissension in the elite. There are issues. I don't know what's going on with it. So I am going to tag out.
Smart.
Okay.
You're smart. That's good. So let's talk about dissension within ranks. What's up with Team Taz? Are they falling apart? Taz is saying that they're okay, but man, the look on Ricky Stark's face, the look on Brian Cage's face. I mean, Hook is all in, obviously, on Team Taz, but is this the end of Team Taz? Taz has always had good things to say about Sky on Dark, so I don't know. Does anyone want to tag in on that? What do you think is the future of Team Taz?
I will tag in on this. There, again, dissension. I don't know if it's egos getting in the way or whatever it is. Everyone wants their piece of the pie. Taz is going to have to lock in, and he's going to have to figure this thing out because he is the coach. It starts with him. And so he's got to get his team together or maybe look for some trades. And there's some guys out there that are pretty available, I think, and looking good, right? I don't know. Wow. That's all I'm saying. I
mean, this kind of goes into what I was thinking, which is that sometimes when you assemble a squad of supreme talent, which I think we can all agree, like it or not, Team Taz has some great talent on there. You can't expect them all to just gather in one place and wait for their opportunity to come. So I'm going to tag out on this one.
Ooh, I like that. All right. Guys, speaking of offshoots of Team Taz here, they just got done running in circles with the Stinger, but now it looks like Lance Archer is gunning for Sting. He says that he's the icon, but doesn't look like the icon anymore. How are you feeling about a Lance Archer versus Sting match in the future?
I'm tagging in. I'm tagging in. I'm tagging in. I'm jumping in front of you. Yeah. Like there's dissension on the show. I slapped his hand away and I got mine in. I'm tagging in. I am all in for Sting and Lance Archer. Those are two big boys. Sting's got a big bat, and I'm down. I'm ready for this. I want to see it as soon as possible.
I agree.
Whoa! Wow! There goes the dissension in the ranks of the show. Everybody's on the same page.
Agree. But the problem is, here's the problem: is you took the W from me. I would have gone in for the pin. I was ready to do my finisher on this.
Yeah.
And then you took it from me. So I think this is going to be something we're going to have to discuss later on.
I like that.
You hit the Scorpion Death Drop, and I tagged your shoulder and jumped in and got the pin myself.
Oh, that's smart.
Exactly.
That's smart. W counts for you. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly.
Just a couple more rapid fire these here. Darby Allin defeated John Silver to retain the TNT Championship. What's next for Darby Allin? Does the face of the Revolution get another TNT title shot?
Tag in. Okay. I have seen better men lose to Darby Allin. Okay. So here's the thing. I also, something that I'm getting real tired of is Darby finishing his matches barely scraping by the skin of his teeth and then going for a handshake afterwards. All this sportsmanship, it boils me. It boils me. I'm over it. I don't even know if I care about that title anymore.
Wow.
I'm tagging out on this. I will give credit where credit is due. It was a great match. But if you want to know what's next for Darby, it's about 10 of these. It's about 15 of these.
Oh, dang. All right, last one because we have to put over the boss. Cody Rhodes and Brandy Rhodes. New TV show premiering on TNT. Are you there day one? Are you watching? Are you going to get the inside scoop? How you feeling about it?
Jumping right in. This is a hot tag, man. I'm coming in. Clothesline, drop kick, body slam, old school freaking 80s tag team comeback. I am in on this show. I can't wait. I'm there day 0 for it.
Wow. I like
Bet
that.
on it.
Man.
Well, as Sky said, this is a hot tag, which means I'm probably outside the apron somewhere, passed out, holding my head.
Yeah.
So
Ricky Morton, baby. Get that cell going. Ricky Morton.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, someone's got to be the Robert Gibson, and James, you do a great job. So, guys, that is our Dynamite recap, our tag in, tag out segment. Let us know if you like that. WWTW Pod on Instagram and on Twitter. We're just trying to change it up. You know what I mean? We got to keep the show fresh. We're not canceled yet. Doesn't mean we have to do the same old. We got to mix it up.
Yeah.
I love it.
Speaking of mix it up, I felt like this was a very different kind of episode. Let us know what you guys thought. That is all the time we have this week. But I know, Eric, you had one last thing that you wanted to toss out here before we wrapped everything up.
Guys, give me one word to describe Mike Seidel's condition after Sky is done kicking his ass on AEW Dark Elevation.
Okay. I'll jump in here, Sky, because I feel like you maybe have some insider knowledge here. The word I'm going to come up with, and I mean this in the most complimentary way possible, is pulp.
I am going to quote the great legendary fighter Clubber Lang in Rocky 3.
Okay.
Bring a camera in on me. Get the camera on me. Your camera's on me. Okay.
Yeah.
Addiction. Pain.
I love it. Love it. Now that's a finisher. That's a finisher right there. I like that, guys.
Yes. Awesome. Well, thank you everyone so much for an amazing episode of Wrestling with the Week. This was a blast. This was a ton of fun. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Please reach out to us. Let us know what you thought at WWTW Pod, or you can find Sky and I at our respective handles pretty much anywhere. James Willems, Scorpio Sky. If you want to get more specific, you can hit me up on Instagram at James Willems Feet. But please tweet us. Let us know what you thought. Show us we've seen people have sent us pictures of their Not Canceled Yet shirt. Amazing. We love it. And thank you so much for another amazing episode. Sky, any final thoughts?
Final thoughts? We'll see you next week.